Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a grand campaign event for you, still in the testing phase, I'm pretty sure, for the new season. So our first map is going to be Pry Ford, followed up by the Hagerstown Turnpike. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like the support, go beneath the video, hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do with no ads. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our regiments for today: on the CSA side, you have the 42nd Pennsylvania, 30th Ohio, Colquitt's Brigade, 11th Mississippi, 12th Virginia, 59th New York, Irish Volunteer Brigade, and the 11th Pennsylvania. Whereas on the Union side, you have Free States Brigade and Iron Brigade, Hampton's Legion, Russian Legion, Pickett's Brigade, 30th North Carolina, 9th Corps, 17th Michigan, and the 1st Delaware. Server pop for today: it is currently 270 CSA, up by 6 right now on the Union side. In terms of artillery, both sides have it. And CSA looks like they're taking 10, Union's taking 2. So our infantry in balance right now is 2 in favor of the Union side. Frontline reporters for today: on the Union side, you have Lucian here from Iron Brigade, or 15th Wisconsin. And then on the CSA side, you have Deadmas from CQB. So appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what is going on in the sky. And if you're playing in this match, whether it be recording and uploading later or live streaming, send a link to me and I'll put that in the pinned comment. So with that being said, Pry Ford have not seen this in a hot minute. It is a 18% ticket advantage to the attacking Union side. Devs did not touch this map when they did all of the balance changes 2-3 months ago, which is very interesting. Weapons on this map: Union has the 4th Pennsylvania. It's a special regiment, or considered a special regiment anyways. I don't know where it is on the Union side right now. Yeah, it looks like Pickett's Brigade's got them. So they got the Sharps carbine, the shorter weapons. They're very good shooting weapons because their reload is half the amount of time of your normal weapon in this game, which is around 20 seconds if you're standing up. So it's about 10-ish seconds to load on those Sharps. They also have pistols, which is very good. Union needs them in the close combat that Union will eventually have to do when charging across the field. Union also has the 2nd United States with the Springfield 61. NCOs have the scopes. Sharps rifle, which is interesting in and of itself. CSA defense, on the other hand, they have the Holcomb Legion with the NCOs having the Sharps carbine, regular men having the Enfields, and then they have the 17th South Carolina with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 61. So this map has been played a couple different ways. Union traditionally have gone to the CSA left side, kind of taking a position in that road on the straight fence or in the bushes here. All can be seen by the CSA artillery, at least in the bushes there. Maybe over here it's a little bit of a stretch. There is a slight hill elevation change. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it can be enough to provide cover for a man. But what Union will generally try to do is they will try to hit the CSA left and try to take these rocks here, get a foothold, and then continue pushing forward to this center area where you have the point of contention on the other side of that. CSA's job is very simple. You can't let Union get anywhere on the point or on this side and get a foothold. That's just because if Union gets over on this side of the map and can push up to this hill here, it'll force CSA back to their main spawn, which is by their artillery. And as you'll note, there is no open area here. And so CSA would just be fighting a game that's not favorable to them, because if they want to retake the ground or retake the point, they'll have to charge across open field. And that's the difficulty for the Union side right now, is anywhere they go on this map, it is wide open field. You have the straight fence on this side of the map, but that eventually turns into out of bounds, so Union can't really use it. As of late, though, Union side is trying to use this side of the field. Union generally avoids it just because it's close to CSA artillery. We saw earlier a couple of great CSA artillery hits, but sometimes Union just turns the field and then will push up this way to the point, because although it is very much in the open and a lot closer to that CSA already position, something is that CSA have really done a good job of being able to hold this side, especially with the decrease of the bullet spread of the weapons by a minimum of 60%. It's gotten very difficult for the Union side to charge across this open field. So we'll see how it plays out. Again, haven't seen it in a while. Should be good to see nonetheless. But this CSA defensive line holding the extreme left, it looks like you do have 42nd Pennsylvania doing their big line volleys, Corps brigades mixed in with them. You do have some Union starting to move up to the center. Pickett's Brigade moving up with those Sharps. They're in a very slight deviate. It doesn't look like much, but is enough to at least provide a little cover from the CSA Arty, which, again, CSA Arty could just fuse on, just set the fuse timer so that explodes right above them, and it wouldn't matter, but at least they're not directly visible. But it's a nice little spot to have if your unit. It gives you a defilade from a couple different angles, gets you close to the CSA line, and get some shots going. So Pickett's Brigade pushes it up. But continuing where we left off, so you had 42nd, 30th on the extreme left. CQB kind of more towards the center here, forming a big line themselves with 12th VA on their right. And then holding kind of really far back for the CSA right, you got the 11th Mississippi in distance, just kind of spreading out. You can see they have that open order, which is good to see, especially in the open combat. Started with 10th US. I don't know how long ago. It feels like a long time now, but 10th US, that Union regiment started doing this, and it has spread like wildfire across the community. Just because, depending on where you die, you lose a certain amount of tickets. If you're standing up by a lot of people, you're in formation, you lose 1 ticket per death. If you're crouching like this guy is here by a lot of people, or you're just by 2 or 3 other people, generally, even if you're standing up, you lose 3 tickets upon your death. And if you're all by yourself or with 1 other person, you're out of line, you lose 5 tickets per death. Now, the game notifies you of this on the bottom right side corner. We don't see that in spectating, but you can still spread out like this and still be in formation. So it's a good strategy. And that's kind of spread. At least we kind of see it, at least only from 11th Mississippi. But obviously you have CSA trying to hide in the cover of the center. CSA, similarly to as Union pushed up and could use that definitely Pickett's Brigade. You can see a little line of corpses there as they got pushed off. But CSA at least somewhat trying to use the cover. But Union, on the other hand, they've just wanted to play a shootout so far. See what they can work with. Here you got HL and the Russian Legion on this right side of the Union line. Pickett's Brigade, we saw them up in the center bushes. 9th Corps is sitting behind. Cycling over to the Union center left, you got 1st Delaware in the back. And then the extreme Union left, you got Iron Brigade, IVB, Midwest Brigade, and 30th North Carolina. And I mean, so far this shootout has not heavily favored the Union side. CSA slightly up on tickets. Union can afford to be down a little bit on tickets. It's perfectly acceptable. They have plenty of time in this match, too, to bring the CSA down and get that ticket lead back. But Union seems to be slowly just at least this Union left, slowly pushing their lines back, trying to find a way to break through, or at least not break through. That's not the right word, but just deal enough damage. This CSA Arty has been hitting a lot of good shots on this Union position. Who do we got here? It's the 12th VA, Colquitts, 42nd PA, mixed a group of guys here, shooting their Arty shots. I don't know why Union Battery is counter-battering. I mean, they did get a hit there and get a guy or 2 kills, but unless you flip over an artillery gun, there's not a whole lot of reason for you to counter-battery, because Arty is most effective in this game when you support the infantry directly. And now that normally means when the infantry's charging in, Arty hits right before to knock down people or kill people. But right now, Arty can't really do a whole lot, right? I mean, Arty can shoot and kill people, but in terms of its overall effectiveness, it can't always be there. But you want to try to maximize it when you can, right? I don't know why Arty is not shooting for the infantry group. Sure, they're spread out, but you're more likely to get a couple kills, knock down some guys, prevent them from shooting versus Arty. Which, I mean, CSA Arty is putting up the work, and Union counter-battery so far has not been very effective. But looks like 59th New York. I haven't seen them. Didn't mention them. Didn't realize they're all the way over here. You normally don't see fighting on this side of the map, just because it's so far away from the point. So both sides just trying to spread out. CSA taking even a larger lead as this shootout continues.
Oh, that's a turkey shoot. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Oh, good luck, lad. Around the clumped up tree, lad.
But Union lines just keep falling back. And this is not a really good sign if you're the Union side. Obviously, you're losing, and that's not good. But it's more concerning because there's really about 2 basic things you can do War of Rights. Shoot and charge. And one of these things is just not working out for the Union side right now. And as a result, that just limits you to charging. And at least the thing is that this map is wide open. both sides really far spread out. If you're Union, you could try to group up and, assuming CSA doesn't react quickly, could just try to charge and hit one of these flanks and try to defeat in detail. Now, obviously, CSA has a lot of guys in the center. Not so much over here. If Union want to charge over here, they wouldn't be able to gain as much ground, or at least gain important ground. But, I mean, if you're Union, you surely got to be thinking of doing something else here. I mean, Union's still micro-adjusting their lines, but
we're going to chase those skirmishers.
Union's got to think of something soon. Or at least something new to do. Again, still plenty of match left, but this shootout has not favored the Union side at all, and this lead keeps growing for the CSA side. And if you're Union, why would you just keep letting that happen? Now, again, they've been making the micro-adjustments, but they just haven't worked. I mean, Union's doing the shootout because they don't want to charge. Charging is very hit or miss for the Union side on this map. Most are misses just because you are charging through an open field, but you're eventually going to have to do it. And if you're down by this much, you might as well at least try.
Keep shooting, boys. Keep shooting.
Spread it out. Don't be shoulder to shoulder.
Boys, not shoulder to shoulder. Spread it out. Spread it out.
Is that a 42nd on the left?
Spread it out.
Cool. Southeast, boys. Southeast.
So, TQB at least pushing out here, trying to get shots. Union is pushing up on this side after 59th. Backs off. Again, trying to play a little bit of a different angle. I mean, we can just at least look from the CSA battery position. And you can kind of see them. But you got Union moving across the open field as well, trying to go back to those original positions that they were in. Midwest Brigade pushing up now. Union almost down to half a morale stage, though. They gotta think of something.
Alright, lads. About phase on me. Let's go. About phase.
And they just back off right away. I mean, the other difficulty for the Union side on this map is because Union has that special regiment, the cavalry, they only have 3 flags. CSA has 4. And, I mean, if you just look at the amount of players, right, very even numbers overall. But look at a company size for CSA, 38. Union, 67. CSA, 31. How dare you be 67? That's a shame. 50, though, 32. And then you see the special company for Union, 17. But CSA has an average of about 32-ish guys on a company, whereas Union here has an average of about 55. And as a result, it's going to take a lot longer for Union to just spawn guys in, assuming they get into a big close-range combat, which this is far distance, so it doesn't affect as much. But that's just going to be another difficulty for the Union side. So if they push up and charge eventually, they're going to have to wipe CSA fast. You got to wipe those flags, obviously.
Okay, boys, this is looking way better. Good shit.
But CSA at least pushing out. CQB's been hopping around. They try to face the Union team again in the open field. Kind of in that open order. And, I mean, we're a third of the way through the match at this point. As an attacker, you want to get the defenders down by the 30-minute mark to engage. Right now, that's Union. So,
Load and shoot.
Just keep
Load and shoot.
moving. Just keep moving.
Don't give them time to breathe.
Union's going to have to make a move at some point because, I mean, sure, they're down a half morale stage, and that's a conversation in and of itself, but time is a whole other issue. That's the, you know, with, at least historically, to my understanding, there wasn't a whole lot of charges, and the devs have, at least in the past, I'm talking years ago, have really emphasized the fact that they want this game to be, you know, they want to focus on the shooting, not as much charging, but a lot of the changes that have happened over the past couple of years have really incentivized charging. And, I mean, they've kind of, at least as of late, have tried changing that a little bit, you could argue, like with the increased shooting accuracy, at least the decreased bullet spread of 60%, that most certainly helped. They won that drop. They accidentally made it so there was no bullet spread at all, 100% accurate. And then they realized their mistake. It was a beautiful thing for those who got on the scopes, the scope rifles. They got beautiful shots. But then you had the ticket balance changes, which gave the defenders more tickets, which just makes it harder to shoot down. This game is very much, the charges are important. The charges decide the game. Sure, shooting is a little more effective than it was maybe a year ago, but it's not even close to being effective. You got to charge. Time is not your friend right now, Union. And I mean, CSA, there's no need for them to push up and charge at all. You never rarely see CSA push up to where the Union is kind of forming their shooting line. Only time CSA really do that is if they're bored.
Spread it out to the left, boys. Spread it out to the left. We're getting a little close here. Spread it out left. Spread it out left.
But I mean, you can just see the pile of corpses of the Union team here. I mean, anytime they go into the open, they're getting slaughtered. Union's got to commit to a full push. I mean, they had the pre-planned coordination to figure out the plan and strategy. The officers are in a Steam chat. They can communicate if they want to. The keyword is if they want to. It's the officer Steam chat's always fascinating. A lot of events as of late have started going away from that. Just instead of all the officers being in a call with each other, they instead have to walk around and, you know, talk to each other in game. And you can see CSA is starting to try to get around and get flanking shots. 59th New York shifting back out to this extreme Union left, and right away Iron Brigade falls back. I mean, they're just getting shot up. Union's playing to lose right now. I mean, you can understand going into a match having a strategy. Most plans usually don't pan out. But if you're Union's side here, it's almost been 20 minutes through the round, and it has not been going your favor. This ticket gap is growing more in CSA's favor. The charges, a good amount of the time, are not in favor of Union in terms of tickets, and they're digging themselves in a huge hole here. And I mean, props to CSA. They're playing the round well. They're keeping their distance. I mean, they don't have to do much, but they're still doing it well. They're staying in open order, trying to minimize casualties. They're not crouching. And so, I mean, we'll see what Union wants to do here. You do got Pickett's Brigade, Irish Volunteer Brigade shifting to this right. Union starting to mount up on this right side. The thing is, if you're CSA, you can see Union moving. It's a wide open field. You can see the CSA in this kind of the center right side of the map are starting to shift towards the center. And they're just getting ready. I mean, perfect response here from CSA side. And I mean, we'll see if the charge works for Union. I mean, I think another thing, Union already has to get involved in these charges, or else CSA is going to get a lot of good shots. I mean, CSA already can at least hit the guys on the point here. Union starting to go, though. HL in front for Delaware. Why? They're stopping to take shots. You should not be stopping.
Drop your bayonet. Cannon shot.
Through, step through.
You missed! You missed! Fuck them all. Fuck them all. Put it away.
And CSA dominating this charge. Union trying to get the flags back, but Union's going to lose 2 of those flags there. 3 potentially. Wow. And just like that, CSA hits engage. Union about to drop into taking losses. CSA's up a whole morale stage. And this is not good. Very simply, not good. Now, if you're the Union side, you've sat back, shot back, that hasn't worked. You've tried to charge the traditional route. That hasn't worked. Those flags down for 5 minutes, and then they'll despawn unless someone runs over and picks it up beforehand. But if you're Union, you have two choices left in terms of what you can do. You can try to charge up the center here, or you can try to make a push across the wide open field here. I think you can maybe argue Union likes pushing this way because if CSA hold in the open field, Union already can get involved. But Union already has to hit shots on Union charging for Union to have a much better chance. Obviously, that just the obvious statement, but that's what you got to do. And instead, Union already keeps counter-battering this whole time, which in those moments already can be a huge impact. And sure, I mean, if you just look at at least, you got the Mississippi guys going up and charging about these. Wow. But, I mean, if you just look, it's hard to see anything over that point hill. Again, it's not a huge elevation change, but it's enough to make an impact to where Union already, they're in a rough spot. Now, Union can obviously roll the guns. It takes time, but they can roll them, I mean, maybe here to where they're visible. But Union's got to utilize already on this map in order for those charges to work. Because CSA is just a lot of men shooting a lot of accurate shots. There's not much you can do if you're Union except hope that CSA sucks. And at least in these private events, most of the time you don't get that. So, Union down a home morale stage. 22.5 minutes left. What do you do? Union should probably at least try to recover these flags. Looks like one of the down flags was recovered. Dub HL shifting this way. But, I mean, huge props to CSA. They're keeping their distance, which this map is kind of just it forces them to do that in a sense, but they're doing it anyways. You know, they're playing smart. They're spreading their lines out. And when Union actually moved in, formed up and charged, CSA was responding instantaneously. It's a really well-played round here by this CSA team. And it'll be interesting to watch next round, Hagerstown Turnpike. Now, the CSA on this side is going to be playing Union for that map. Which, that can be a much more... I mean, it's going to be a shooty map. Not as open as this map. CSA already, my goodness. I mean, CSA already's hitting good shots. You know, they might not be getting a lot of kills, but they're definitely doing area of denial. I mean, you obviously have the CSA line. I think that's along Mississippi there, taking shots over here as well. But CSA already's doing real good this round. It's as much good as they can. But again, when you want to hit, if you're trying to keep a consistent pace, you need to get CSA down to taking losses by the 20-minute mark. This is rough. Why balancing this game is so important. Obviously, it's a very hard game to balance. That's not necessarily an excuse. But I mean, I started playing middle of 2020, and they had everything except for Conquest Contention and the Drill Camp Skirmish maps. They never touched the balance of them until 2-3 months ago. I would really think it makes sense, and this is what you see with any other game with online play, for the most part, is that there's got to be some balancing changes every month. Even if it's just to a couple maps, tweaking them, that'd be great to see. And obviously that's based on data that you get tracking the maps, or just getting feedback from people. Because sure, if you get feedback from people, some people are going to, you know, give a wrong answer. Because sometimes there's an objectively wrong answer. Like Garland Stand, for example, if you're saying it's a Union bias map, you're just wrong. When you played that, CSA are just terrible. But when you ask enough of a people, there should be a general idea of that balance. or where the balance needs to go. And I mean, Garland Stand is a perfect example. You need to give Union more tickets, but that ticket balance changes. They gave CSA more tickets. It's just a little confusing with that. But hopefully that's something we can see going on. I mean, just a monthly update. Just update a couple maps. It tells people you're still working on the game and things are alive and well. But here comes Union again. Union doing a little serpentine, trying to dodge shots. CSA responding. And this HL group, First Delaware, is taking a hit. A lot of the Union did not get involved. Now, maybe Union's trying to sweep through the center and flank CSA, who is pushing themselves out extremely. It looks like they are, but it's a little late. CSA is going to have time to reload and reface. Surprising to see the Union Sharps go forward. You want to make sure they can get their pistol shots off, which they are. CSA charging in, at least some are. So CSA is half committing to this right now. Now they're all starting to go in. That it gives a window for Union to defeat in detail, which Union line is holding. More reinforcements showing up. CSA already a beautiful shot on the left side of your screen. I mean, Union's still somewhat putting up a fight here. Union flags are starting to retreat. I mean, huge couple shots from CSA already. Union, though, is still able to hold a line. I do not know why 11th Mississippi is sitting back and shooting this and not reinforcing. And now they're in a position where Union already can get good shots of them. Now they're going in pretty late. I mean, you could say maybe their teammates weren't communicating, but you have a pretty clear view of the area. But Union bringing their flags forward, trying to get a foothold on one CSA flag. 11 Mississippi going in with not a whole lot of numbers.
Good job, Pete. Good job. Good
So 11 Mississippi gets held. 42nd, 30th guys are trickling in as well. 59th New York trying to get involved, but they're just sitting in. CSA already. My goodness. My goodness.
Pull your fucking flag out now.
Do another one.
You're gonna fucking lose it.
This is surreal. And maybe that's why they were holding back, but Union's going to get forced off here. Wow. Huge props to CSA already. You know, Union looked like they were probably going to hold the ground, but they hit 4 really good shots, and the first 2 forced Union flags off of the center here, and then the last 2 forced the rest of the Union out. That's perfect. And I mean, let's see what their angle is. They are, I mean, they have nice view of at least the rocks there where they just shot a moment ago. But I mean, at the hill here, kind of. Yeah, I mean, they're better shots than what Union has, but then Union's got to move their guns. So CSA still up by a morale stage, roughly. 15 minutes left. Union 1 morale stage, about to hit breaking, and then going to go into final push after that. Final push being no more. The clock will drop down to a couple minutes, but they'll still be able to spawn in. It's just a limited time that kills you. And I mean, if you're Union, you know, you didn't win that in the end, but you at least got to feel a little better about yourself. You closed the ticket gap a little bit. It's a start. And you are winning for a while, and then CSA already got involved. But Union had a chance. So, Union, again, their best bet is kind of run that back. CSA, though, much more together. We'll see if Union tries to do a bait and switch. That's kind of the thing when you get up to these higher server counts, which We're almost at 300, 291 right now. But if on these higher server counts, defenders can defend like the whole width of the map. They can respond quickly as long as they're looking, especially if they're in an officer chat. You have to deceive the defenders in some way, and obviously this map is very huge. It's going to be very difficult too. But I mean, even sending a group out on their own to get completely squaddled while the rest of your team hits the flank, I mean, that's a way to do it. That could have been why Union went in delayed, because they were really trying to sell the bait of that initial push, which that makes sense. That is probably why it was a little delayed, but, you know, they still put up a good fight nonetheless.
On me, FSB, over here, right here. Put your fucking happy ass right here.
So, Union sit back, going to a shootout. I mean, that's the thing, is Union just has to win one charge and things could change in a drastic way. But CSA just needs to hold one or two more and they'll win the game. Union, the X factor for CSA has been that artillery. I mean, even now, Union just sitting back and CSA already hitting it. I mean, sure. I mean, they can see the spot and they're, for the most part, hitting the spot. Hello, table of fire. I find it really funny. This was probably, I assume this was here historically if that was the case. But we never really fight at distances of this great. Maybe 300, maybe 425. Especially on Conquest and... you can maybe argue Conquest and Contention. But it's kind of neat to have it here. This sheet is to be glued to the inside of the limber chest cover. Wow. The pouch containing those for instant service must be closed. Wow. Artillery at its finest. So, Union looks like they're going again. They're sending a bait group. And you can see CSA, instead of pushing out in the open like they have in the past, they're sitting back. They've recognized. What a volley. Gets a couple. Not a whole lot of Union, though, charging. But looks like you got 1st Delaware now going in. Russian Legion as well. Good CSA reaction not to go into the open field.
Got your back, Bob. Fuck him up, Bob. Fuck him up. You killed Bobby, bitch. For Bobby, bitch.
And so CSA is going to hold that fairly easily. CSA line starts to push up. You'll know. 11 Mississippi pushing up to a nice area, getting flanking shots. Looks like Union may have just decided to outright not go, seeing CSA didn't push in like they did last time. And I mean, again, CSA does not have that much to do. But everything they do need to do, and have been doing, they're doing it all right. No issues with CSA side. They're playing a very phenomenal round right now. If you like defense, my goodness, this is your round. Not that, I mean, I guess it's defense, not defensive. Wow, Union already hit a shot. Look at that. They should be hitting the shot. London, Mississippi's right there. But it's not like defense in terms of American football, which I know you Europeans love. I'm missing watching American football right now. Or I'll just say football. I'm missing watching football. Watch war rights. I'm kidding. I mean, I am, but hey, it's perfectly fine. I love the commentate here. I got it. I got all the scores on the side, so it's perfectly fine. I remember last time I talked about a football game for the team I cheered. It was a Pry House match, and I forgot who commented it. But they were like, this guy is talking about American football while people are dying. Typical American. So, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll just start putting football games on top of the heavy UI we have for our broadcast. We'll just start putting other sports on there. Surely YouTube and other sport networks would appreciate that. Might be a way to get more views, but anyways. This TSA at this point needs to hold one more charge. Assuming Union charges in with their whole team. They have to hold one more charge and they'll win the game. The only chance Union has is to knock CSA into breaking their next morale stage and cap and win. which, I mean, they can capture at any point, but if they capture it before CSA it's breaking, they have to hold it for a certain amount of time. And I mean, if Union's capturing the point early, that probably means they have majority of the field and are doing very well already. But Union, not so much right now. And I mean, Union, I mean, maybe Union's realizing they've got one more charge left. They technically probably have two, right? They have the one to go in the final push, and then the one after that, and at that point it'll be a trickle. Union right now is, I think, just trying to bring CSA down as much as they can before they actually go in, so that they can hit into braking and try to win on cap. So, Union's got to play this smart. We'll see what they do. They also kind of got to hope. I mean, again, CSA's played an absolutely phenomenal round. You know, if you were to draw anything up for CSA side, you would want this exact playbook. Union side, on the other hand, they've tried a couple of different things, and some to varying successes, but never fully succeeding. So, about a minute or two, probably a little more than that, but Union line is starting to spread out a little more. CSA, this is probably the most aggressive they've been this round in terms of their positioning, but look at this line. Look at that. Oh, this is why we play War of Rights. Or you can maybe argue I'm not playing, which, to make myself feel better with the amount of hours I have in this game, I will say that this is a business trip. Which, I'm almost at the 1,662.7 hours. Almost 1,700. That's absurd to think about. Oh, how many days is that? Union already hits a good shot. Look at that. Wow. 69.27 hours. That's absurd.
Maintain combat spacing.
I'm almost at 10 weeks of my life. That's absurd to think about. So, CSA line kind of backing off a little bit. I mean, despite Union being in a terrible spot, and the round heavily going towards CSA's way, Union still has a very slimmer of a chance of winning this. Again, they'll have to beat CSA on point in a charge and hit on the braking, which if they win a charge, they'll probably hit on the braking. Then they'll have to capture the point, and in that time it takes to capture the point, they'll probably have to win a second charge. Now that's going to be very difficult because, as mentioned earlier, Union has 3 flags to CSA's 4. So CSA's backing off for that reason. Union as a whole team is pushing their line forward. You can see Pickett's brigade with the cab is sprinting up center. And looks like Union's going to go in. They're about their final push. Clock will probably drop a minute or two. But here we go. So Union pistols trying to put into the work. CSA is kind of surrounding in from all sides, collapsing in. Union left charge fails. Union trying to hold in the center. Unfortunately for them, it is not working. And CSA holds the point. They're not even in breaking yet.
Stab and go to the point.
Well, I guess they are now. They lost. They should just give up. But CSA, not surprised. Oh, and they get 2 Union flags down. 3, actually. Third one's over there. Union Artie, you have all these shots here and you hit in the middle of nothing. What a moment. The true War of Rights Artie experience. But Union's just going to spawn in. They're going to gun it up. Again, they've got about 1, maybe 2. You could say 1.5 organized charges for them before it's for sure over. But CSA's got a whole morale stage and tickets that they'll just keep throwing bodies on the point. Union has to outright win charges, which is going to be very difficult to do in general. But we'll see how it goes. You never know. That's why you play the game, right? You never know what could happen. Unless it's a super biased map, which maybe a Pry Ford is. But look at this view they got.
Movement to the southeast. Go home, GI.
So Union kind of gathering around. You have CSA charging out some Union skirmishers there on Union left, but Union is so scattered out right now. Wow. No, not even close. Union, that's all they could do, but that's not going to go well in that situation. Wow. So CSA is going to get a very convincing win for our first round here today.
Don't stop. Go to their fence. Go to their fence.
Oh, this poor flag bearer. No, hateful. Rip. Wow. I mean, Union tried a variety of things that round. They first sat back and shot it out for about 15 minutes. That was not working. They were down half to 3/4 of a morale stage by the time we got that. And that was just bad. Union eventually had to change course. They charged at the CSA line, and CSA held them well. They came out, they surrounded them, clutched in. Union charged again, and Union, changed up their charging strategy a little bit. They did a little bait charge in. CSA pushed down the open field like they did before, and Union flanked. And for a minute there, it was looking promising for the Union side, but then CSA Artie hit a couple of banger shots. And as a result, it forced Union out. And then at that point, Union just tried to charge in, and CSA just stuck. CSA played a perfect defense. I don't think you get any better than that. I mean, this is a rough map as it is for Union, but when CSA plays that good, it's going to be very difficult for Union to win, regardless of what they do. So look at your casualties. I mean, it's almost a 2-to-1 ratio, almost. Well, it might be 833. Nah, not there, but. A lot of good fighting here first round. We'll see you all shortly for round 2. And here we are with the second round. As a reminder, each side is swamped. So CSA, who played a pretty dominant round last match, is on Union. Union, who had a rough attack, now defending. And maybe things will change. We'll see. Or maybe not. Maybe Union will curb stomp CSA. Who knows? That's why we play the game. But with that all being said, server pop for our second round is 277. Union right now up by 13. And in terms of our artillery, both sides have it. Union taking 10, CSA taking 1. That's surprising. Normally you don't see that, but as a result, it looks like our balance right now, it's fluctuating. It's 17 right now in Union's favor. But with that in mind, it's 8-man infantry in balance. little closer. Numbers are balancing out. It's around 15 with... That's kind of rough. 15 at that point. It's too much to overcome, but maybe something will happen. CSA might pull something off. Union has a 14% ticket advantage, was 24%. And then the devs gave the CSA side a 10% ticket buff. Union on this map, generally how they'll play, if you like to go to this right side, the CSA left like to get up on this hill and shoot the CSA out in the center. Near point, CSA holds a little behind point on their artillery position, but then Union will either shoot it out or charge in, and we're restarting the round. We will be right back. All right, so they've restarted. Briefly looking at the balance again, it fixed instantly on the rebalance. CSA up now by 1. If we look on the arty, Union has 10. Infantry in balance right now is going to be 12, 13 infantry-wise in favor of CSA. That's a huge dump, but overall in balance is 2 or 3, which is very good to see. Anyways, a lot better than last round. This should be a better fight. But Union generally likes to push up on this right side, either shoot to the CSA in the center or just push up and play aggressive over on that side. But you generally see Union also send a group or so. Union sending a lot more than just a group over to this open side of the field. Union generally doesn't send as many guys over here just because when you're pushing up to attack the CSA position, it's a wide open field. CSA also have the arty position. Granted, CSA is not really taking artillery, but what I have seen Union done that has been successful, sorry for out of bounds, but they will create a big line across the whole open field and just get into a shootout with the CSA at distance, which to this map plays to their advantage. Union weaponry, they have the 14th Brooklyn with the Enfield and the 6th Wisconsin with the Lorenz and the Springfield 61. CSA defense, on the other hand, they have the 9th Louisiana with the option of the Springfield 55, but more importantly, they have the Springfield 42, which acts as a shotgun. It has the buck and ball. And then they also have the 1st Louisiana Zouave Regiment with the option of the Mississippi, and they also have the 42s. So it looks like we got a little charging over here. 1st Delaware's going into the 12th VA.
Charlie in the tree line! Charlie in the tree line!
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as Charlie in any fucking tree line. You're gay.
So 12th VA will hold that. But that's the thing, is that CSA, they have to choose between if they want the close range weapons or the long range weapons. Now, if they choose the close range weapons, Union can use the thing is when you're shooting with shotguns, they're good at close range, right? At farther ranges, they're harder to aim. Bullets are the pellets anyways are going to spread out more. And you got to be a little better of a shooter. So that's the advantage that Union can use on this map. And also, something to note, is Union can easily run up to about here and start capturing the point, and then it'll force CSA out of their defensive positions, because CSA, for the most part, is just hiding, trying to play a time game, avoiding ticket loss, which it makes sense for them. Union, you have to force them out, or you got to charge in. You don't necessarily want to charge in and deal with the buck and ball, so what do? You just run up an early cap point, force CSA out in the open. And that's where this map can get a little interesting, because Union could do good on the shootout, but if they don't do good enough and time starts becoming an issue, they have to charge and get close to CSA, who can use buck and ball very effectively. Now, the Springfield 42s have round ball as well, which is more of your normal shot, and it's not like a shotgun at that point, but you'd rather have a rifle at that point. But anyways, it looks like CSA is at least taking the Mississippis. They're shorter, and they're more brown. So they're at least starting to get into a shootout. This CSA defensive line, you got Iron Brigade with Pickett's Brigade on this right side, running up, taking shots, and then popping down to a slight defilade. Again, it doesn't really look like, zoomed out here, that there's a lot of elevation change, but it doesn't have to be much, similar to what we saw last round. Maybe not as extreme as last round, but you know, it's enough to provide a little bit of cover. So you have Iron Brigade, Pickett's Brigade on the right, Free States Brigade kind of in the center with Hampton's Legion. Shifting further left, you got Midwest Brigade, who's in the center there, and then hiding further back in the woods, you got the Russian Legion, Free States Brigade, 9th Corps, IVB, 30th North Carolina, with a couple 11 PAA guys pushing up and just skirmishing. Union arty, they're trying to shoot from this area. Normally, Union rolls the guns up here so they can see the CSA position, but with CSA having the woods and Union not having a lot of guys over here, it's going to be very difficult for Union arty to be doing something, or at least be able to see something. 12th VA for Union, though, on this right side. But look at this Union line. Similar to what we saw with the CSA team last round. Looks like they're trying to run it back. Running a lot of independent fire here on the CSA position. So this line here, you got 42nd PA, 30th Ohio on the right, 59th New York in the center with CQB, and then the extreme left, you have the 11th Mississippi. And I mean, you can see this shootout is working beautifully for the Union side. Union up by a third of a morale stage. This poor CSA side that was Union last round, they can't get away from losing the shootout. This is just bad. And I mean, CSA's just got to hide or something because their Union's hitting a lot of really good shots. And the thing is, too, is this hill here, CSA sometimes, if Union just has their whole team out in the open, will like to push guys up here and use this hill. It's a great spot to have. Sure, you have Union already flanking you, but you can just send guys to charge them out. Which, honestly, if Union's not even fighting on this side of the map, I don't know why they have guys on artillery, to be frank. It's a distraction nonetheless. But if Union doesn't have guys here like 12th VA, CSA can just have a big line here and a great view of the Union position. But 12th VA, not a whole lot of numbers, but it's enough to at least keep CSA back. CSA could overwhelm them, but with these bushes, you don't always know how many are behind. Which, you can maybe guess with the amount of Union over there, but that's besides the point.
Good fire, boys. Good fire.
There's an officer.
But, I mean, you can see CSA is making those adjustments again. The micro adjustments are slowly falling back, trying to get in defilated cover. And, I mean, if Union feels like they're not dealing enough of a ticket rate, CSA is so far away from that point in the open here where they could just walk up and try to cap it, and that'll force CSA out. Sure, if Union early caps the point, it'll stop the black timer, which is good for an attacker, gives you more time, right? But if the defending side does retake the point, and they're down tickets, which CSA is, they'll regain up to the percentage of tickets that the Union side is at. And I think something to note as well, Union officers might be able to see it through their binos, but the advantage that Union has is because they forced this match to be a very long shootout, you can see CSA has picked the non-42 weapons, at least Midwest Brigade here. They have the Mississippi. Could be applied to the other groups as well. But you got more Mississippis here with Pickett's Brigade. Same with Hampton's Legion guys. At least some of them looks like. Got Iron Brigade. They got the Mississippis as well. So, I mean, see, the CSA team is really picking the non-shotgun weapon, right? Because they're trying to do good in the shootout. It's an understandable reaction. But this is huge for the Union, because if Union ever does decide to push up and engage with the CSA, at least the first wave of CSA that they'll deal with won't have those shotguns. Now, obviously, if a CSA guy dies, he can respawn, change his weapon choice, and go from there. But I mean, this is rough. Looks like CSA is starting to push out of the woods. 30th North Carolina starting to push up. Oh. Looks like 30th North Carolina, though, has the 42s.
Stay on the line. On the line.
Right
And you can kind of see those shots going, but you can also tell on the gun. And, I mean, 9th Corps, who's the, oh, 11 PA shooting at 12th VA, but it looks like 9th Corps at least is preoccupied with the Union gunners. I don't know, these Union guys, outside of maybe the officers, should not be on the guns at this point. Not that it matters, the Union's up almost by a half morale stage, 12th VA is shifting that way. But this is exactly what you want if you're Union. 11 Mississippi is starting to push up, they have some skirmishers up here, Oleg, Hexa, and Mayfield. They're early capping. Now, if I were Union, I would wait for CSA to hit engage. The only reason for that is that you want to get CSA down to a lower morale stage before capping. And the reason is if Union caps while CSA's in battle ready, it's going to be a 20-minute counterattack. If CSA hits engaged in a second, it'll be a 12-minute counterattack. That's how long Union needs to hold to win the game. But I don't know if Union would be necessarily concerned with outright trying to win the game. They're just trying to bring everyone's tickets down. And that is certainly a way to do it. But it looks like they won't early cap. Instead, they pull off. So they might be waiting for engage, or they're maybe just trying to bait CSA into moving out and not really ever cap in the first place. Who knows?
They don't seem very friendly.
So 12th VA, they charged out a couple CSA guys that pushed up a 30th North Carolina, taking that exact spot I was talking about. The 12th VA returns. So they're now backing off. I mean, Union is dropping in tickets. It does look like it is maybe getting a little closer. It's weird, though, when you hit the end of a morale stage or you hit a new morale stage, it's like the bar is longer than what's shown on the screen, and as a result, it seems like CSA is at the end of battle ready for a while. It's like you'll hit a new morale stage like CSA just did going into engage. They'll stay full engaged for a while and then eventually just start dropping. And when they drop, they drop. Some 30th North Carolina guys, you can't be doing this. Unless you're all charging in at 12th VA, you can't trickle out like this. Looks like some are... Oh, these are unnecessary casualties that CSA can't really afford, especially when they're down the tickets that they are.
Oh, here they are, boys. West.
Now, if they all go in, sure, that's fine. But don't trickle in. Because, I mean, you can just see 12th VA pick them apart very easily. But the CSA lines are pulling kind of further back here. And, I mean, CSA can go back into the woods, but it looks like they at least want to keep firing at the Union. I mean, even just a time aspect, which, you know, we talked about last round, how shooting can be very difficult at times. So far, not the case for Union, but CSA's been a lot more exposed so far this round than what they are now. I assume CSA is just going to keep falling back the more casualties they take, and then Union just caps and brings CSAs out. I mean, the thing is, Union is not too ahead of CSA, so even though it's like that CSA regains some tickets, they're not going to regain a lot, all things considered. And these CSA guys are charging out Union Artillery HL. A few of them that are here. Which I don't know why they're... I usually choose the attacker so we don't get this pop-up, but HLs ran through the arty. I don't know why Union gunners are still on the guns. You've been pummeled for 13 minutes straight. But HL's trying to loop around. Maybe they're going to try to run up and get flanking shots. Who knows? 30th North Carolina is charging in the 12th VA.
Return, come back, 30th, let's go, come back.
So they'll force 12th VA off, securing that hill. But let's look at this Union line here. This team. A little more spread out than they were before, but again, just trying to keep that pressure up. Maybe Union's just still trying to deal with ticket loss before early capping. Again, they've got plenty of time on the left. They're doing good on time. There's no need to rush if you're Union. And you do have 59th New York kind of breaking away from this Union line, starting to circle around. Maybe trying to reinforce 12th VA who got pushed off. Because, I mean, you can see HL gets up to this snake fence and getting shots. Maybe they're moving over here because already notified them that HL is pushing up this way.
Yeah, they pushed us off the fucking hill.
Rad's too busy eating, leading us into a goddamn trap.
You know they're in there.
Do we need bayonets?
So 59th going over. HL seeing that is going to back off right away. Good job on their part. You'll get groups that are either smaller size or their group gets wiped down to a smaller force, either or, that'll go around and skirmish across the map. And they'll stay in areas way too long and lose unnecessary casualties for their team. That, sure, maybe in an individual moment might not hurt. Sure, losing a couple tickets sucks. But when that happens a lot, it can really start to add up. And that can really start to hurt your team in a huge way. It's like Ramboing, you know? One person Rambos, goes off by themselves, maybe gets a kill or so, and then dies. Sure, you lose 5 tickets for your team. Not a lot. But when you have, you know, 5, 10 people Ramboing, especially like in a pub match, probably more, it can just kind of unfold into a lot of tickets lost for your team. and it can be crazy. So 59th shifts around. Maybe they're trying to help their artillery out as well. That's where they're heading. I don't think 12th VA is joined with them. It looks like they're sitting at Maine, just shooting it out at a distance. I mean, all things considered, Union hit engaged. Union is up by a third to a half a morale stage at this point, and I mean, they're still dealing a good enough of a ticket loss on the CSA side that they don't have to change up strategy. I mean, as an attacker, there's no reason to early cap the point. If you have a lot of time left, you're still dealing good enough of a ticket loss, right? CSA is still making themselves in an area where Union can kill them. I mean, sure, they're in defilades, but you can see the bodies here, whether it be guys running up and taking shots or they're just visible right now. But CSA is still in a place that can be engaged. You can still bring them down. You have a lot of time left on the clock. No reason to early cap. If a couple of those conditions aren't met, then you can early cap. But right now, no need. So, you know, it's similar to last round except in the inverse. It might not be the most entertaining thing. Which you would think that someone broadcasting a match, trying to make content.
I gotta play Tetris, man. I gotta play Tetris.
Oh.
Hold up.
I'm at 10,000 score right now, man. Hold on.
They're playing Tetris? It's like...
I'm still going, man.
It's like... It's definitely not the most good thing for me to say, considering we're making content. You know, we want people to watch, obviously, but... You know, it's like you're watching football. I'm a big fan, Detroit Lions, but more college level, Michigan Wolverines are my team. Uh-oh. We might have some action, ladies and gentlemen, as Flores would say. This is content. They're pushing up. Anyways, not the European... You may not know. But, got offense, defense, right? Michigan football will just run the ball nonstop up the middle and have great defense and just wear out their opponent. It's a very boring style of football, but it's very methodical, and it can destroy if effective, which Union strategy so far is very effective. You have some charging over here, 30th North Carolina, 1st Delaware charging out 59th New York. They're going to win on that part. You do have 12th VA charging in to the Russian Legion, who's trying to hold the position that 30th North Carolina was at. Which it looks like it'll be very close there. Along the Mississippi, charging out of bounds to get to the CSA position. FSB holding over here with HL, and CSA will hold that. But again, they're just trying to speed this up, deal some ticket loss. I mean, you could see they didn't bring their flag forward, so they're still able to get flags, but a little damage. And I mean, that can happen too. Like with CSA last round, if everyone just sits and shoots the whole time, CSA might get bored and charge. But, again, if it works, you might as well keep doing it. It's very methodical. So. But hey, you know, if you enjoy these type of matches, it's a good thing. More Union charging in here. CSA reforming the nick of time on the snake fence.
No frosting now, I'm so sorry.
Get ready, melee. Get ready to melee.
Get the fuck on the snake fence and hold it. What the fuck are we doing here? Let's go.
I missed a fucking point blank flag. No, this guy's
Hold this shit right here.
Hey, up and over, dummy.
Up and over. Counter charge, gentlemen. Counter charge. Counter charge. Let's go.
There's a lot more Union here than what I thought a moment ago. First Delaware, 30th North Carolina, trying to go up and over, get a flag. And they get that Union flag down. And they should be able to clean sweep the rest of the Union guys here. CSA have hit taking losses. Union close to follow, but Union still up on tickets. Meanwhile, in the center, Midwest charging 59th and 12th. And Union will hold that. So Union just kind of pushing the place. Charging in, maybe getting a little bored there because a lot of those charges were not good, but... So, CSA, if Union early capped at this point, again, it would not hurt them at all. It would force CSA out in the open field and do a lot of charging and engagement. Union would have to hold the point for 7 minutes to outright win, but as long as Union is bringing everyone's tickets down and not going down too far in tickets, they're fine.
I love you too, buddy.
So, both sides at least resetting. Union has a lot more presence on this Union right side. A couple CSA guys unnecessarily going in.
Peekaboo. Hello.
Flag down.
Hey, I just killed Lambo.
Hey, I like Sylvester Stallone. Don't kill him.
So, Union is taking loss as well. Tickets fairly even. Union, this is a perfect chance for them to early cap the point. If they want to. Again, they've been winning on the shootout the whole time, and it makes sense. I mean, a lot of the CSA team has been over on this side of the map, where just not a lot of the Union team has been. And so you have most of the Union team sitting in the open. Not so much anymore, but they were shooting at not as many CSA. So, I mean, there's that. There's also just the weapon advantage in their stuff as well that Union potentially has, which, I mean, CSA's been taking the Mississippi's at least in long-range shootout, which makes sense. But it's still going in Union's favor, which, I mean, we haven't seen CSA outside of these bonsai charges that the Union's done. Haven't really seen CSA be able to win off of the shootout alone. So if Union wanted to continue that, they could. You know, it's almost like a boa constrictor. I've heard that once and have liked using it since. And it looks like Union is going to early cap the point here. CQB guys on top of it right now, so they're going to do exactly as mentioned. Black timer is going to stop. CSA is going to have to force to retake, and that'll cause a lot of, you would hope CSA would react quickly, trying to make sure they can retake the point, regain tickets, and keep the black timer ticking away. So, they early cap. If Union holds for 7 minutes, they'll win the game. CSA has 7 minutes also to retake. Union is considered the defending team at this point. CSA considered the attacking team. And 42nd and 30th pushing really far forward. Meanwhile, CSA are gunning to try to take the point right away. HL Midwest forced into the open. Again, trying to go in somewhat covered area here on the straight fence to try to retake the point. Union, you generally want to highly contest the point just so you can bring everyone's tickets down. I mean, Union at least has a little time. They've at least brought CSA into the open here where Union can get some good shots on them. I'm surprised the 42nd, 30th, they're obviously shooting at CSA in the woods, but I mean, if they look left, there's a good amount of CSA close to them.
I love shooting someone and seeing them fucking keel over and die.
Ooh.
How do you feel, Baron? How do you feel about...
So 42nd, 30th back off of their shooting position because they are facing CSA. Look at this angle.
Oh yeah, that is independent straight.
They got a great angle here. And CSA are kind of caught in a crossfire right now. And I mean, you could see they've got the guys in their covered area, very weak at this point, but they just don't have numbers on point. On the opposite side, you got the Iron Brigade shifting over. But they're not on the point as well. I mean, the point can stay neutral like this. CSA is going to need reinforcements, but they're not going in all together. Which maybe CSA, you know, it's not a terrible idea to try to retake the point with as few guys as possible, but with a Union positioning like this, it's absolutely beautiful. Union sending more guys up, some 1st Delaware guys heading up there. 30th North Carolina IVB guys sitting back. 9th Corps Russian Legion in the woods with 11 PA. 59th New York, though, for the Union side is trying to sneak around, and they're going to get some nice crossfire here on the CSA position in the wood line. And if we cut over to the point, it looks like CSA's completely backed off of there. So, 2 minutes to the count. I mean, just look at the tickets. The moment Union forced CSA into the open, CSA got slaughtered. Which, it's crazy too, when they changed this map from a 24% ticket advantage to Union down to 14%, I was like, wow, it's really too big of a change. It's going to help CSA out a lot. And I mean, based on what we're seeing now, it hasn't been close. But with how well the CSA played last round, who are now Union, and kind of, you could maybe argue Union played poorly, who are now CSA, this might not even be a surprise to you.
Sail like roast the bone. Oh Lord, he
Come on,
died.
boys! Come on!
All around the rosy rose of Alabama.
Oh my god.
Sweet tobacco posy is my rose of
Ooh, drop your
Alabama.
flag.
Good
Hold
shot.
on, hey, tactical. What about a throwback?
I took choir singer.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little
No,
rebel,
that's just
now
what
that's
I
just
am.
what I am. Oh, the shanky. Oh, he fucking died. I do not give a damn. I'm glad I fought again her. I only wish we won. I ain't asked any pardon or anything I done.
You always fuck
I
up.
hate the Yankee nation.
Oh. You know what? We got the formless nut audio covers. We need tactical audio covers of Civil War songs. Beautiful voice. CSA charging out. This is so spread out. HL 30th North Carolina going into 12th PA spot. 42nd PA and 30th will probably turn right in a second. Or they will be hit with the charge. But CSA do go in. They at least take this hill. Yep, 42nd PA, 30th turn. But there's a lot more CSA now have showed up.
George. Wipe out the flag. Wipe the flag. Wipe the flag over here. Let's go.
And CSA gets a Union flag down. And CSA has a very, you know, they kind of have a crossfire on the Union. Along the Mississippi trying to reinforce, but they're moving in late. CSA may be a little thinned out from this, but we got another charge.
Run through them.
Ебануться, блядь.
Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there.
Сюда еретик, бля.
And 11 Mississippi gets swept through. Union kind of going in independently, and CSA is able to pick it up. 2 Union flags down now. And 2 minutes left on the counterattack. If Union holds that, they win, but they probably won't. CQB is the last major Union group out here. Probably the only group out here. Still. And CSA will be able to retake the point. Union main spawns are going back up to that hill. I mean, Union, if they want to charge in and try to contest this, they have a little bit of time, but it does look like CQB's backing off. CSA main spawn, center of the screen there, where a couple of those guys are standing still. But CSA main spawn's fairly close, and Union is just going to kind of sit back. CSA is going to regain some tickets here, about almost a third of a morale stage. A fourth to a third of a morale stage. But with CSA and breaking, Union can capture point and win at any time they please. Which we'll see where CSA wants to hold defensively. CSA, if they want, can fall back to make sure they're not in the open field where they've kind of been slaughtered, both just in terms of numbers lost, but also tickets. Or they can stay in the open and get slaughtered. You know, they got either option, but they got to see near the point because of the situation.
It's the glorious Union. You're on the wrong side. And I hate it all I could.
On fire, boys.
Can you shift right?
Take aim. Take
Take
aim.
aim.
Steady.
I see them flag there, so I do.
Good idea there from 12th VA. It looks like some 59th guys were with him as well. 30th North Carolina is charging this. I'll explain why that's a good idea, what 12th VA did in a second. But 30th North Carolina is trying to take the ground back all by themselves.
Hey, don't run in. Brace. Wait for them to come up. Or get your bayonet. Don't run out. Get your reload.
So 30th North Carolina gets wiped. You got some more CSA moving over as well. But CSA looks like they're going to back off. The thing is, right, you saw what 12th VA did. They held their shots until CSA retook, and then they fired. If they fired before they retook the point, if they fired, got a couple kills, CSA lost tickets, but when they retook the point, they regained tickets, so they would have regained the MAC right away. So I like that they hold their shots. More groups need to do that. HL guys are now just trickling in and dying. Some Pickett's Brigade as well, they're just dying. And that's giving Union a good ticket lead right now with those out of lines. You'll see this a lot. Like, Union should have... You saw a lot of independent fire out here. Union should have just held their fire, and then the moment CSA retook, they should have volleyed. One, it's a cinematic and awesome thing, but it's just tactically makes sense. Now, CSA is being charged by a couple guys, and they will hold. And so...
Easy tickets.
Union, again, can capture the point at any time they want. CSA, for the most part, is returning to their mostly original defensive positions, at least in the wood line. Guys over on CSA right are more in the open. Union finally are able to roll the guns up to the top of the hill. It's only taken them 25 minutes. They're here, enjoying the view for the next few minutes that we have around here. Ooh. Up the fence. And seeing the point wide open, I mean, London, Mississippi's getting closer.
Miguel, if you press C, you go into double quick.
Everyone else, hold here with me. Hold here with me.
And CSA, oh, hello. A little jump scare from the flag there. London, Mississippi is sending a couple guys forward. Looks like they're going to try to just cap the point, force CSA out into the open, which, I mean, CSA lines are just shifting. Okay. The issue for CSA right now is they're trying to play like time is of concern right now. Time is not an issue for both sides right now. CSA has to find a way to get a ticket lead at this point. And they're just sitting back and waiting for Union to do something. Which maybe CSA is like, if we get into a big engagement, all charging in, we have the 42s, assuming people spawn in with that, maybe we can do something. But I don't know if CSA has them, because they've been taking the Mississippis this whole time, which these one Mississippi guys get a couple good shots. It looks like they're taking the Mississippis still, which CSA should have been spawning in with 42s the moment they hit braking.
Fix everything.
But, oh my. 9th Corps charging in, trying to hold the point, but Union just from numerous angles is just shooting all in on that point, and CSA is getting slaughtered.
Занять посадку, пиздец. Слева противник. Норд.
Перед нами тоже противник. Мы в окружении. Вы врагов не честь.
And just look at the tickets. This is the largest lead, maybe, a Union's had this whole time. Jeez, this is just beautiful execution from Union. This whole match, it's beautiful in and of itself. Again, not the most interesting of things, but, you know, it's effective and it works, so there's no reason to not do it. That's the thing.
Pour it in, boys.
Oh my, Union already starting to shoot down now on that point. CSA is going to hit last stand. Last stand for them is no more respawns. Clock stays where it's at. It's not like final push where the attackers drop. Or, sorry, the clock drops when the attackers hit final push.
Careful on that line, guys.
But, last stand, no more respawns for CSA. And it looks like 11 Mississippi is going to be the first Union group to go in. There they go. I'm going to laugh at 42nd. I assume that's 42nd and 33rd volleys in and kills a bunch of friendlies. Oh, but Artie gets him. Whoa. That was a shot. You'll note a lot of CSA guys are moving out of main spawn. When you hit last stand, on top of only having no more respawns, if you were dead and you hit last stand, you spawn in main just so your team has one whole wave left. And here comes more Union. This should do it.
Они здесь.
Oh no, not Lucian.
Oh, don't stab me.
Well, it gets a good amount of kills. I guess CSA still wins. Sorry, Union charge in the woods. They get a CSA flag. I guess this was not it when I said this is it. But Union. Oh, are they out of bounds? There's no way that's out of bounds. Huh. It sounded based on him saying no, no. Seemed like that was the case, but Union right now is starting to go in. This should probably be it.
Tactical, watch out, he's in front of you, Tactical. Oh, dude, no! Oh, God, no, Tactical!
Put your head in the clouds and said, young man.
Keep pushing him out.
Urinating tree. I love when he has that little clip in his videos. Union hits final push. The clock drops to a couple minutes, but Union basically have swept out the whole CSA team. They have to kill all but 3 to finish it out. And you got a couple CSA guys sitting all the way back here. Oh, artillerymen with the flags. Some infantry too. And there is nothing we can do, indeed, Jerry. That's a man, that brings back. That meme was a while ago. I actually listened to that song for a hot minute because of it. But Union side here is going to get a 2-0 today. They were CSA round 1. Got a huge win there. Very dominant win. And same thing occurred here with round number 2. So, I mean, this CSA round 1, Union round 2, this side just played perfectly both rounds. I don't know if they could have... I mean, obviously the Union charges in the middle of the round going nearly out of bounds for stuff. You know, maybe not advisable, but in the grand scheme of things, they were up by a lot of tickets. They could afford to do it. They won by a lot in the end. So, really good round here from that side. Very systematic. But anyways, with that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel more. Go beneath the video, hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do with no ads. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord and our clips channel in the description. And if you're playing in this match, whether it be recording and uploading later or live streaming, send me a link and I'll put that in the pinned comment. Regardless, I appreciate you guys. I could not do it without you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. We'll see you in the next one.